Welcome to this episode, where we continue exploring Robert Greene's The Laws of Human Nature. Today, we're diving into a story from the busy streets of Cleveland in the late 1850s. It's a tale of two men who started a business together, revealing how people can sometimes use aggression in subtle, sneaky ways, even while appearing friendly and agreeable on the surface. The two men were Maurice B. Clark and John D. Rockefeller. Clark was older and had more experience. He thought he could easily control Rockefeller, who was only 18 years old. Rockefeller seemed quiet, religious, and well-behaved. But looks can be tricky. From the start, Rockefeller was smarter than Clark realized. He jumped at the chance to join Clark's business and somehow found $2,000 to invest. This was a lot of money back then, especially for a young person. It showed that Rockefeller was already thinking ahead. As they worked together, Rockefeller acted boring and quiet. He spent a lot of time looking at numbers and trying to save money. Clark thought this was just an odd habit, but really Rockefeller was learning everything about how the business worked with money. This knowledge would help him later. Things changed when they started working with oil. Suddenly, Rockefeller got very excited about the business. He wanted to make it bigger all the time. Clark didn't like this and told Rockefeller to slow down. But Rockefeller kept pushing, showing he wasn't as obedient as Clark thought. The big moment came when Clark got angry and said they should split up the business. Rockefeller agreed calmly, which surprised Clark. Rockefeller quickly put an announcement in the newspaper saying they were splitting up. This shows how Rockefeller could turn a bad situation into something good for himself. They decided to have an auction to see who would buy the business. Rockefeller offered $72,500, which was a huge amount. Clark thought Rockefeller was being stupid and couldn't afford it. But Rockefeller had planned this all along. He had secretly arranged to borrow money and had made deals with other people to help him. This story shows how Rockefeller was a sophisticated aggressor. He never yelled or got angry. He didn't openly challenge Clark. Instead, he worked quietly behind the scenes. The things that made Clark think he was boring, like being quiet and careful with money, were actually the things that helped Rockefeller win. Rockefeller's story teaches us some important lessons. 1. People who seem quiet or boring might actually be very ambitious. 2. It's important to watch how people act over time, not just how they seem at first. 3. Being aggressive doesn't always mean being loud or angry. Sometimes the quietest person can be the most determined to get what they want. 4. Planning ahead and learning as much as you can about a business can give you a big advantage. 5. When someone challenges you, staying calm can be a powerful way to handle the situation. Rockefeller went on to become one of the richest and most powerful businessmen in history. He built a huge oil company called Standard Oil. All of this started with how cleverly he handled his partnership with Clark. This story reminds us that in business and in life, things aren't always what they seem. Someone who looks weak might actually be very strong. A person who seems to be following along might actually be leading in a quiet way. Rockefeller's success came from his ability to think ahead, stay calm under pressure, and turn problems into opportunities. He didn't need to be loud or bossy to get what he wanted. Instead, he used his brain and planned carefully to reach his goals. In the end, Rockefeller's story shows that true power often lies beneath the surface. It's not about who talks the loudest or seems the most aggressive. It's about who can think ahead, stay focused on their goals, and use every situation to their advantage. We're now accepting a special kind of donation, your likes. Each one gives us the motivation to keep creating top-notch content for you. If something in this video resonated with you, share your thoughts and personal experiences in the comments below. Your insights could be valuable to someone else. Now, a quick reminder. Make it a habit to learn something beneficial every day. Remember, the content you consume is like food for your brain. Be intentional about it. Otherwise, the algorithm might end up influencing your thoughts. Give it some thought. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.